Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to do Roxy's Weekly Challenge week 37. So it's a little journaling fold over page and I'm going to make two, one for each of the journals I'm working on at the moment. So first of all I want to work out how wide I want my little embellishment to be. It's going to go into a pocket, so I'm pretty happy with it being 4 inches wide. Actually, it might go into a side pocket. So 4 inches wide should be fine. So I'm going to cut these off at 8 inches. From that side, I think. And same for this one. Okay. So now I'm just going to fold these over in half. You could use your scoreboard to do this if you wish, and I probably should, but I will do it this way and see how I go. So that's one, and this is the other. Now, Rachel used a book page for hers. I'm not doing that, as you can see. I'm going to go with my digitals. This digital is the digital I'm using for my journals. It's my Vintage Christmas digital kit. I think I should have got my scoreboard out and scored it. Yeah, Vintage Digital. Vintage Christmas. Get your words out, Julie. So yeah, Vintage Christmas digital kit is what I'm using for this. Now, what? I don't want it that tall, do I? I want to chop that down a little bit. So I'm going to make it, because it's going to sit in my journal. My journal is like an A5 size, so it's 8 1/4 inches high. I'm probably going to cut this off 7 1/2. Right, so keep it at, I'll just keep it at, so 7 1/2 it is. And this one, I might cut this one off the bottom. There we go. Right, now I'm going to use this coffee dyed paper, and that has to be the same height as the pattern page. I'll make that 7 1/2. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is take one of these and we're going to attach that here so that it comes just over the halfway mark, so that it sits down like that. Now I have got a glue stick, so I'm going to try using that. So I want a bit of scrap paper. two pieces there. So I'm going to bring that over there, then take that out to the edge. Try and make sure I get it over everything. And then bring this and pop it on there. So that I've got it nice and square. Hopefully I've got it nice and square. I'm going to move that down like that. There are some pieces there that might not have got glue under them, so I'm going to run a bit of glue just along the edge there. Make sure it's stuck. It won't matter if the glue comes out because we're going to collage this piece. Okay, so now we can fold this piece level there. And where's our halfway mark? No glue there. Okay. So we're going to fold that one over. Then we're going to fold it back. Making sure that we are clearing that fold. There we go. Now we need to collage on here. Now I'm not going to do small pieces, I'm going to do large pieces, and I'm going to do pieces that can be written on. So let's tear that. Got my tear on here. You could ink around this if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm going to now glue this down. Now it's up to you what sort of collage you do here. I mean, you could do lots of little pieces. You could do picture pieces and, you know, not have it for writing. Rachel did a mixture on hers. She did some book pages and some writing pieces. Bit of a mixture really. Just pop that down there. So I'm overlapping that join. And what else have I got here? I've got that I could put in there. And got that. So I might put that there. So let's tear that off. And I'm going to lift that up and put this piece under it. Let's put this piece of it down. So you can see the whole inside of this, plus the extra fold out paper, is going to be journaling. So lots of journaling space. I like to include lots of journaling space in my journals. So after all, I figure that that's probably what it's for. Let's get that on there. Now we can re-stick this piece. We got a nice mixture of papers there. They can all be written on, of course. Okay. Now, on here, there we need a tab. So what have I got here? I haven't got anything all that colourful, so let me grab some. Oh, what I'll do is I'll go and grab some paper that I want to use to make a tab on here, but while I've got the camera turned off, I'll get this one up to the same stage as this one. Okay, so I've done this one as well, so that's already up to the same stage as this one. Now I've decided I don't like that around there. If it was more creamy or something like that, I probably might be more inclined to keep it, but for this particular project I don't think I want it there. So I'm going to trim it off, which might be easier said than done. Came off all right. Let's do the same for this one. Okay. Right. So now I have punched a couple of whale tail tabs, and I'm going to attach these on here so that it's obvious that that pulls out. So I've done a red one and a green one, so I'll put the red one on the red folio or journaling page. Okay, so we can put this anywhere on here. I'm going to put it towards the top. And let's burnish that. I don't want to get glue on that. paper underneath, so I'll just do it like that for now. Okay, and the same for this one. Okay, now next thing, or the final thing actually, is we add some lace. Now I've got this cream lace here. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do this, and I'll explain them to you. Firstly, you could have added this to the back like that before you did your decoupage. Not decoupage, collage, like so. I am obviously not going to do that, so I'm going to just attach mine to the inside like that. And let me get some glue. I might get my art glitter glue for this. I'm just going to run a fine line down here. And take another line right to the edge. So that it sticks nicely. And pop that on there as straight as I can. Now you can use any lace on here. Rachel actually used some broderie anglaise for one, and she used quite heavy lace. I'm using a finer lace because I don't want it to poke out too far, because I'm going to put it in probably a side pocket, and it's got to stay within the constraints of the page. So, looks cute, doesn't it? Right, so we can trim that off. Level with page. You could leave it, you know, poking above if you wanted to. Right, so now you can also embellish the front if you want to. I'm happy with my Carola sitting there. So what I might do though is I might take a piece of this and just run it along there like so. That lace would sit there quite happily on its own, no problems at all, but I think I want to just put some glue on this and stick it down there just to be on the safe side. Now this is just the offcut that I cut off of the height of the digital paper, and I don't need the full length of it. But I will pop that down there. I'm lining it up with the edge of the page so it doesn't poke out the front. So you can't see it at the front. Finish that down. Like so, and trim this off. You can of course use your trimmer to do that if you want to. I think I end up with more glue on my desk than on my project half the time. So I'm going to call that one done because I'm quite happy with the front of that. I mean, I could add, you know, a label or something down there if I wanted to, but that's our little embellishment. So we open, journaling paper, heaps of journaling space. As I said, this is Rachel's week 37. Now, what will I do on this one? Will I put it on the front? Because you can do either. You can stick it on the front. And then I could just run this down the edge of that as well. Yep, I'll do that. Let's see how that goes. Let's cut that off about there. Run some glue along here. My art glitter glue's been doing crazy things lately. It wants to run out the top of the bottle when I'm not squeezing it. I don't know why it's doing that, but I wish it wouldn't, because then I end up with a whole heap of glue where I don't want it really. Right, so let's pop this down. Not sure if there's a right way or a wrong way. Just trying to make sure I get it something like straight along here. It's not perfect, but it'll be okay. Move that over that way a little. Okay. Now, I could run some gold. I've got some gold card I could run along there instead of the same pattern paper. Why don't I grab some of that and do that? Okay, so I've got some gold cardstock here. I'm just going to cut off about 1/2 inch. It is 7.5 inches tall by coincidence. So I'm going to glue that all there like so. I'm going to ink that. I know I haven't inked anywhere else, but I will ink around the edges, so I just wanted to ink around the edges of this. I probably should have inked around the edges of the other piece that I attached on the inside of the other one. Okay, let's pop this down here, try and get it level with the edge, like that. Turn it over and see what we've got. That looks pretty good. Then we can trim that. Okay, so I might put some embellishment on this one. Okay, so I've got a label here. Well, it's just a scrap of paper actually that I've cut into a 3/4 inch strip. It's actually a piece of that paper. Now I'm going to just pop that there, like so. And I've got a sentiment here. I'm going to add that. I'm going to pop it down towards the bottom of the pattern paper. And then I've got this fussy cut from the kit. And I'm going to attach that. Now the background is pretty busy, so it doesn't stand out all that well, but it is there and you can see it, so just a little something to add to the front. I'm just going to pop that on there like so. You can embellish as much or as little as you like. If you use a pattern paper like that, you might decide that you don't want to embellish it at all. I have decided to add a little label and a sentiment to that one. So it's the same sort of thing. I've cut a scrap of paper to make a label. I've inked around it. And I'm going to pop that down there. Now, the sentiment is longer than the, oops, it's a bit crooked, isn't it? Longer than the label, so it's going to overhang, which is fine, that's good. That's what I wanted it to do. Just a little bit of something on there. Like that. Label's still a bit crooked. Just pop that down there, like so. So there we go. There's our two embellishments for Roxy's Weekly Challenge, week 37. Okay, so there we go. I have inked around them all now, all around the outside and the insides. And I'm going to call them finished. You could also embellish a little bit down here if you wanted to. That's one, and that's the other. Okay, well, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think they're quite cute. Good way to use up a bit of lace. And I do like to add some lace and fabric to my journals, so this is a good way to do it. So, yes, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.